So yesterday, I ran out of time because I had to go get the skid steer from Major. I've got to get these windows done before they move the scaffolding over there. Going up in here, that is a back box from Control 4, and what that's used for is the control station. It's a door station is what they call it, that goes here. So it'll have a, kind of like a ring, but it ties into the automation system easier. It's got a camera, keypad, because we're going to have electronic locks on the doors that will allow you to punch in a keypad and unlock the door. But the door will just look like a regular door with a regular lock. No, none of the keypad you see on the door. It'll just look like a regular door handle, regular stuff, and the electronic locks are built into the door that will unlock it. We're putting those at every access door. So it's four of those, and then that's for my sconces on either side. I chose to go with a little of, a lot of people raise them out or indents. I went with the indentation because I like the look. Plus, in the future, if I say, hey, I want stone around it or something, then I've got that indentation and we can cut it, put stone at the bottom. We've got to run a half course and then do a row lock across, and I've got to do my pan and everything. So there's a lot of stuff still has to happen there. See, I've done started doing some of the Tremco ExoAir 110. So you wrap that, you do their Dynamic 100 around the top, and then I'll end up spraying this at some point, and then we'll put, when the window actually goes in, then we'll do a typical like wide seal and come back into this, and then this all gets covered with stone. That's why this is here. This is getting stone attached here. It gets a stone surround and a seal. So I've got, in fact, that's it right there. That's some of the pieces. So, oh, that's heavy. So just a kind of quick down and dirty look at it. Of course, the round areas will be the hardest to deal with, but something like that, right? Roughly. There you go. And that'll go all around everything, and then the seal and all that. Should be pretty cool. I've got to get these ready so that they can finish bricking this wall up. So I'll do these 4. Mrs. Beelygood thinks I should have done the little retaining wall out of stone or something different. What do y'all think? Yeah, so around those windows are stone as well. That's why that's left like that. Nothing's really changed back here. All right, so we'll start with the Dymonic. Pow. And put that in all the corners. I'll do the upper corners too. Any little places like where we had the straps across, where it didn't get sealed in. Do all that. This across the bottom first. Then we come down the sides. Top piece goes on last, and then it gets Dymonic around it. Well, I'm back up here on high in the little boom lift deal. Casey and them are over there finishing up the office brick. And I decided just to bring this out to finish doing the windows. It's just easier for me to work off of this than trying to work off a ladder. But I went ahead and did the window seals on all of them, the outer seal. Office is close to being complete. I did all that yesterday and today. So, you know, fresh mortar. Have to wait for that to dry out before it all matches, but that's okay. Started coming up now that we know how we're doing around the windows and what's going on. So they started coming up. Finish this up. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. Well, actually tonight and tomorrow. So probably be back Saturday. We've got a lot of things coming up on the schedule. I guess he's going to work his way around here. So I've got to try and stay ahead of him with the ExoAir, putting the Tremco on. We've got power up here now. So I'm going to get in here and go ahead and wire the office, get everything ready. At least one wall in here will be brick inside, brick walls. I just haven't decided my entire style. I've got a new person doing the rendering side of things. So once I get that complete, we're going to do some interior ones. Man, it's crazy. It's been cool to get some stuff done. Good morning. No idea what I'm looking like. Didn't grab a hat. Another early morning out here, going around finishing windows. It's just easier to do this obviously before the brick. I'm working my way around. I'll get these. There's a upper window. I'll go ahead and get that window around the side door and that window, and then I should be fairly ahead of him for a while. He's working today, but then he's working on a project that I'm doing for Chris, and then he's out at the major project. That one's going to be a while. So between just those two, honestly, I don't know when he'll be back here. So that should keep me far enough ahead of him, even though I need to go ahead and finish all the windows. Come around all this edge and put the Dymonic, smooth it in there. I'm gonna try and film and do this. You just kind of put the bead around it, you know, nothing crazy. You're just smoothing that out. The idea is that if water runs down, yeah, we actually put it in the video. The idea, if there's water runs down this, you're not getting it behind the tape. This is not a situation where pretty wins. It's about function. Haven't had a lot of comments lately about how things could be better. I mean, I've always got some. Really feel like on this, I'm gonna get a bunch, but hey, maybe we'll all pick up on some better techniques, right? Gotta look at the bright side. This stuff is great at sealing off for water prevention, but there is a long cure time on it. You touch that for several hours and you're gonna get stickified. Press some of the Dymonic 100 into the corner, that seam where we did the little bump out so it would follow the circle. I'm gonna take the ExoAir 110 and you see how that goes. If I can find a spot for you guys to sit. Let's see here. Hi. All right, I think that might work if I don't move too fast. You want it to cover where the seam was. Doesn't have to be a lot. And leave me a little bit to fold in. You can put this right over the Dymonic while it's still wet. That's fine. But be aware that it's going to get on the paper that you pull off, which will then get on you. We get that on there and kind of spread out and stuck on. Do the sides, top, do the top same way we done. Then I'll come back with the sprayer, and it's similar to the tough and dry like we did the below ground stuff. It's a little different formula for above ground, and we'll spray all of this and seal that up again on everything. We called it the weather correctly where it wasn't so cold. We got freezing temperatures where you can't really spray unless you've got one of the really expensive outfit with the heater. And I would have pre-sprayed all this ahead of time, and it would probably been a little bit better, but we're wrapping it up. So window goes in, another layer of this will go against the window and seal all that in. That window's ready, that one's ready, that one's almost ready, that one's ready. One tube of Dymonic for all that. So I've got to go back, get another tube, do up there and inside the corner of that one. But I'm far enough ahead now that you'll have to get all around there to here. That's 3 days of work probably. And like I said, we've only got one left before he's on my other projects for a while, probably a month. We'll get that closer. Is there anything else to show y'all? Got ideas for all this. I'm not gonna jump back on the house other than what you're seeing right now for a little while we get the cabin project going and get Major out of the ground pretty good. And we've got some military contracts we're doing. I think that's it for today. This is probably a little bit. I'll just add this to the other window video. So this was over a week or so of time. I do that, and I've got a backlog of videos now. Send that. Oh, and if you watch the video on Chris and I and Rick and Robert going through looking at that property, for some reason we never said what it was. Anyway, it's 71 acres. So there's a lot we didn't show. We basically showed through the woods part, but there's actually a lot of open field acreage too. That somehow just, I don't know if we didn't think about it or what, but didn't make it in the video. We're negotiating on it now, so hopefully we're getting, because this really, the wet area is a little downside, but it's large enough that, I mean, there's at least 50 acres usable. Coming together, slowly but surely, but not really too big a surprise to me. We've talked about it before, but I mean, I said it was gonna be a 3-year build to start, and that's probably what it'll be, which is fine with everything else I've got going on. It's just like a part-time thing. I would have liked to have had the roof on already, but such is life, you know. We'll get back to it.